Hello friends, welcome back to Surya Chess. Today I am going to show you one opening with the black side, which is known as the Petrov defense, and there is also a variation called as the Stafford Gambit in that defense. So let's begin. Yesterday I played one game, and I thought, because this is the first time I tried, and hopefully you guys will learn something from the video. If you are visiting to the channel first time, do subscribe to the channel for the latest videos. So let's begin the game. So the game has begun with the e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to f6. This is known as the Petrov defense, where this pawn is e4, e5 pawn is hanging from the black side, and e4 pawn is the hanging from the white side. So if they don't wanna go for the Petrov defense, they will start pushing the knight further, and it will be like developing further like this, and eventually the castling will happen. So this is how the normal game will happen. But those who wanna go for the greedy pawn, so the white has captured the e5 pawn, where this is converted into the Stafford Gambit, where this started the Stafford Gambit, where I placed my knight towards the c6, where allowing to capture the knight here and double up my pawn. But in return, I'm getting the open position. This is known as the Stafford Gambit starting position, where it did captured in the game. So just wanted to tell you guys, the white has wasted almost 3 moves for the same knight, where you can see I have given one move for this knight, another move for this, and in return I have the leading development position, because this is the first move, second move, and the third move of capturing is like wasting of too many moves and allowing for the opponent to get the leading development, and in return there will be the attack towards the kings. So here in this position, white has played the d3 normal move, where there might be chance of pawn push further. This is the normal stuff, where you will go for the g4. Later on, engine is not liking this move, because if you play like this, and I will be pushing the pawn further, and later on if you castle, if I come, there will be the huge attack coming towards the king. So this is one point. So what happened in the game, let's see. So here the engineer suggesting to just develop the bishop towards the c5. I developed it, and then later on the idea is to the bishop to the e2 is just go for the castle side, where I started pushing the h5, which is not the best move in suggesting, because here it is suggesting to go for the g5, where I did not calculate it if it's getting captured, because there is a double attack, and if I capture, this is the losing position, because you can see bar don't like it. So in this position, after capturing, you have the only best move is to just go to the h4, where you are striking for the checkmate, and you cannot save the bishop. So in this position, white has to go for the castling stuff, and I will capture it with the bishop, not with the queen, because again this will be giving the opportunity for it to come outside, and later on it will be like a queenless endgame. Then I don't wanna without queen. So means this is the position. This is one variation can happen in, and what happened in the game, let's see. After the development of the bishop, white has went for the exchange of the bishop, and I did accepted it. And now here there are the double pawn on the center side, but you can see there are no pawns on to stopping them. So this will be good for white only later on. So I need to be careful with this, and I started pushing the knight towards the g4, where it did captured with the bishop, and here engine is suggesting to capture it with the pawn rather than going with the bishop. So but here my intention is to just capture with the bishop, and hitting the queen, where allowing queen to just either go onto the c or c1 or to the d2. So opponent did went for the d2, and here I started towards f6, by hitting, not allowing for the short castle, and also hitting the b2 pawn, where opponent need to be careful with this. If you played something different move, then there will be the possibility of capturing, along with there will be difficult to save the rook. But it was just careful with it and developed the knight onto the c3, where I just went for the long castle to save the king, and opponent started pushing the pawn h3, where it's hit on my bishop, and Engine is suggesting to, rather than going on to the e6, it's going asking to go for the d7, but I did went for the e6, where the idea is to just eyeing towards the a, a pawn in case of going for the long castle, and it did happen in the long castle, where I just need to get rid of this knight, and then I can simply just jump into this. But again, this is a a blunder stuff only. If I, let's suppose I have played this move, and here opponent just went for the knight, and if I captured it, this will be blunder only, we can say, because it's difficult for yeah, here it's like a mate only if it's getting moved like this. So it did not happen in the game. Let's see what happened in the game. So after this, I pushed the g5 pawn, where now opponent started hitting my queen, and I just need to come back to the e7, and later on he started double attack towards my f pawn. It has already the two defender, so but I just started adding another defender over there. And here Engine is liking not like this move. Engine is suggesting to go for the h6, where stopping the idea of coming to the queen to the f6, but I did just miss, or I just played the normal move, where in this position is asking for the exchange. If I move my queen somewhere else, I'm going to lose the g pawn, so I don't want that. So instead of this, also my king position is not good here. I thought just to improve the position where there is a majority of pawns. So I just started coming towards this and allow him to capture my queen, and then I can improve my king position. Here you can see it's 1.6 plus for the opponent, but it can be barely defendable. So I strike towards the center pawn, and opponent did capture here. I thought that it may push further later on. I can just give some space over if it's getting captured. So this will be like blockator, and later on maybe I can get rid of with this pawns in the end game. But it did not happen here also. Engine suggesting to capture with the rook, where if rook captures, pawn push is again going to happen. I need to come back. So but here, rather than this, I thought just allowing him to capture first. So I did capture, pawn pushed further. Here this is the advantage for the white, that hitting the bishop here and getting the opportunity to push pawns further. So here it's like very much difficult for me in the coming moves, where I just need to get rid of with any of the pawns. So here this is kind of a waiting move, a3, where I also started pushing pawn further. It's not a good move, because rather than this, if you push further, you are not allowing to push the g pawn. But my intention is to I am having the white square, so I need to be keep my pawns in the white square, where I can just get support to my bishop. So it did happen, and it's captured here, and it's like good for me, because if I get a rid of with this pawn, this will be like a fast pawn only. So here the idea of because this is hitting the rook, so rook has to be saved, rather than go to the e1, or you can go to the d3 or d2. So I just thought to go for the e2, where you can defend the pawn, but I said that no, just let's start attacking the pawns. And here there was no defense for this pawn. If suddenly or accidentally opponent plays like this, and this will be like a big blunder, you can see that I can simply capture it. And if either you capture with the king or the knight, I'm going to give you the check, and there will be the here also Engine is not suggesting to capture, rather than this. Okay, after capturing, Engine is suggesting to go to the g8 and hit the pawn, and later on it's just a matter of few moves and you are going to win it. But okay, let's see what happened in the game. So here the pawn pushed further and did capture, and I also got rid of with the double pawn. And here opponent played with the capturing with the knight and given me some opportunity. And here if you play something like this, you are losing or you are blundering your pawn, and later on you go here, you may get a support with this, and later on it's difficult for you to do the stuff. So I am aware of that. I was aware of that, so I just played the move into the d6 where defending this, and as well as planning to come here to win this pawn. And opponent did normal move where giving me the check and gives me some opportunity to just grab the pawn. Now this pawn cannot be defended. If you go back, I am going to win your rook, and if you try to win my pawn, I'm going to win your rook. So in this position, opponent has to lose the central pawn, and I got some chance. And here I did calculated if I capture here, the idea is, you know, just to hit and win the pawn, like, you know, if I go here like this, check and win. So this was the idea, and I did calculated, but here the opponent missed one move that I can just come back to the, you know, the f5 where hitting your rook as well as the knight, and it did happen in the game. So I got the check, and you can see, but I don't like it. So in this position, opponent decided to give up the exchange, and I did capture the rook here, and it's like, you know, some matter of moves. And here, you know, I was just worried or, you know, cautious about the knight fox which happened in the last game with the Delhi player, where I completely blundered my rook. So I don't want to do that. So I was just cautious with this, and I was just trying to move the king towards this pawn, and the sub, as well as not giving any chance for the any for. Here also, if I play like this, now it is hitting my rook and also planning to give the check. And if I sudden accidentally play like this, this is the organic pole position. And here also I should not go for this. I should at least go upside and captures, go like this, and come like this. So this will be the possibility of one variation I'm showing. So this has not happened in the game, and you know, I was just cautious, so I just moved my rook towards the king side and planning to win this pawn. And later on, I just moved the rook towards, you know, giving the check and cut off the king. And later on, this may be captured, and started pushing it further, where I have given the check. And in this position, there are two attacks coming. Now this knight is undefended, and the pawn is, so pawn cannot be saved at any cost. So I just took the opportunity where I placed my king towards the g4, where now the pawn cannot be saved, and this knight needs to be away from this file, because now this is hitting, and opponent missed it, and, you know, just played the king towards the e1, thought e2, where thought that, you know, just can capture or give some attack towards my rook, but I just missed that of, you know, the knight is undefended. Okay, so rather than playing this, the best move should be, you know, just giving up the check, and later on if I play something, okay, it's a check for me, so I can capture. And here there will be some chances, at least some chances, but it's still showing the hope for white that I may have made some mistake in that, so it did not happen. So in this position, white had just resigned, and I won the game. So my intention is to, you know, just to show you guys the pattern of defense with some Stafford Gambit stuff, where you can learn something from the video. This is the first time I tried the pattern of defense, so hope you guys have learned it and enjoyed my video. So do let me know in the comments if you like the video. Thank you so much, guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye.